Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we would like to start with a series of tutorials on the TOEFL test. Currently teaching TOEFL preparation course online, and I want to help my students and anybody who wants to study the TOEFL test so they can get a better score. So we're gonna go skill by skill. Uh, uh, yeah, okay. So, the TOEFL test, the institutional TOEFL test is divided into three sections. We have listening comprehension, structured written expression, and reading comprehension. And each one of those has a series of skills that can help you, become familiar with the structure and the format of the TOEFL test. So you can do better the next time you take that test. All right, let's begin. Right. The second section of the TOEFL test is the structure and expression section. This section consists of 40 questions. You have 25 minutes to complete the 40 questions in sections. There are two types of questions in the structure and expression section of the TOEFL test. One is the structure, that's questions 1 to 15, which consists of 15 sentences in which part of the sentence has been replaced with blank. Each sentence is followed by 4 answer choices. You must choose the answer that completes the sentence in a grammatically correct way. Part 2 is the written expressions, questions 16 to 40. This consists of 25 questions in which 4 words or group of words have been underlined. You must choose the underlined word or words that is not correct, okay? All right. Now, the general strategies that they suggest is, one, become familiar with the directions, because every time you take the test, they're the same direction. So once you become familiar with them, you don't have to spend the time reading them again because you know what you're expected in the section. To begin with questions 1 to 5, anticipate that questions 1 to 5 will be the easiest, and 11 to 15 will be the most difficult. So do not waste too much time on questions 1 to 5, because 11 to 15 will be the most difficult ones. Okay, continue with questions 16 to 40. Anticipate the question 16 to 20 will be the easiest, and the questions 36 to 40 will be the most difficult. So again, don't spend too much time on questions 36 to 40 because you'll be running out of time by then. If you have time, you can come back to questions 11 to 15. You should spend extra time on questions 11 to 15 only after you spend all the time that you want on the easier questions. And something that they suggest is never leave any answers blank on your answer sheet. Even if you're not sure of the correct response, you should answer each question. There's no penalty for guessing. Remember, if you leave it blank, you get no points. But if you make a choice, you have 25% probability of getting it right. So never leave any answers blank. Okay. So in the structured questions, the TOEFL questions 1 to 15, the structured written expression section test your knowledge on the correct structure of each sentence. The question in this section are multiple choice questions, and you will choose the letter of the answer that best completes the sentence. For example, here says, blank is taking a trip to New York. Okay, so we have a verb, is taking a trip. So what I need is a subject that will match this verb. Now, letter A, that's a subject, but it's plural. Letter B, that's not a subject. Letter C, the woman is a subject and it's singular. So that would be the most appropriate one. And D, her, is not a subject. It's a possessive adjective, but it's not a pronoun, but it's not a subject. So the most correct answer is letter C. The woman is taking a trip to New York, right? That's what the example is displaying here. This example, you should notice immediately that the sentence has a verb, is taken, and that the verb is a subject. Answers B and D are incorrect because when and her are not subjects. In answer A, they is a subject, but they is plural, and the verb is taken is singular. The correct answer is answer C. The woman is a singular object, so you should therefore choose answer C. Right? The strategies for the structured questions are: first, study the sentence. Your purpose is to determine what is needed to complete the sentence correctly. Then study each answer based on how well it completes the sentence. Eliminate answers that do not complete the sentence correctly. Do not try to eliminate incorrect answers by looking only at the answers. The incorrect answers are generally correct by themselves. They're spelled correctly. There's no mistakes in them. The incorrect answers are generally correct only when used to complete the sentence. Like they is a plural subject, is a singular verb, so they don't really match. Again, never leave any answers blank. Be sure to answer this question even if you're unsure of the correct response. Remember, there's no penalty for guessing. And do not spend too much time on the structured questions. Be sure to leave adequate time for the written expressions questions at the end. Okay, so the following skills will help you implement these strategies in the structure section of the test. Okay, let's start with sentences with one clause. Some sentences in English have just one subject and one verb. It is very important for you to find the subject and the verb in these sentences. In some sentences, it is easy to find the subject and the verb. However, certain structures such as objects of prepositions, appositives, and participles can cause confusion in locating the subject and the verb because each of these structures can look like the subject or the verb. The object of the preposition can be mistaken for a subject. Therefore, you should be able to do the following in a sentence with one subject and verb. 1. Be sure the sentence has a subject and a verb. 2. Be careful of objects of preposition and appositives when you're looking for a subject, because you may confuse them. And 3, be careful of present participles and past participles when you're looking for the verb, because again, you might confuse those. So skill number 1, be sure the sentence has a subject and a verb. You know that a sentence in English should have a subject and a verb. The most common types of problems you will encounter in the structure section of the test have to do with subjects and verbs. Perhaps the sentence is missing either the subject or the verb or both, or perhaps the sentence has an extra subject or an extra verb. Here, for example, we have was back up for miles on the freeway. So again, we have the verb was. So what I'm missing is a subject. I eliminate yesterday and in the morning because they're not subjects. The traffic and cars are subjects. So it's either C or D. Now, traffic is a singular noun, singular subject. Verb be, was backed up, is singular too. So this is the correct one. Cars is plural and was is singular, so they don't really match. So in this example, you should notice immediately that there is a verb, was, but there is no subject. Answer C is the best answer because it is a singular subject that agrees with the singular verb was. Answer A, yesterday, and answer B, in the morning, are not subjects, so they are not correct. Although answer D, cars, can be a subject, it is not correct because cars is plural and it does not agree with the singular verb was. So, traffic it is. Example number 2. Here we have engineers for work on the new space program. So here you can see that we have the subject, engineers. So we need a verb. Let's see. Necessary is an adjective. Are needed as a verb. Hopefully is an adverb. And next month is not a verb. So the most appropriate one would be letter B. Engineers, plural, are needed, plural, for work in the new space program. This example, you should notice immediately that the sentence has a subject, engineers, but there is no verb because answer B, are needed, is a verb. It is the best answer. Answers A, C, and D are not verbs, so they're not correct. Sample number 3. The boy going to the movies with a friend. Okay, so here we have a subject, the boy, and we have going, which may be confused with a verb. Okay. Now, letter A, we have an extra subject, he is, so we don't use that. He, again, we have the boy, so this extra subjects that I don't need. It could be C and D because they are verbs without the subject. It says, the boy is relaxing, going to the movies with a friend. The boy will be going to the movies with a friend, right? Here, the most appropriate one would be letter D, will be, because we already have going. So this is like an extra verb that we don't need. This sentence has a subject, boy, and a part of the verb, going. To be correct, some form of the verb be is needed to make the sentence complete. Answers A and B are incorrect because the sentence already has a subject, boy, and does not need an extra subject, he. Answer C is incorrect because relaxing is an extra verb part that is unnecessary because of going. Answer D is the best answer. Will be, together with going, is a complete verb. So, what are we saying? A sentence in English must have at least one subject and one verb. That's what we're saying. Okay. So, if we work with exercise number 1, now we're going to underline the subject once and the verb twice. Finish the following sentence and indicate if the sentences are correct or incorrect. Look at the example. Last week, went fishing, right? That's the verb, for trout at the nearby mountain lake. Okay, so see that's incorrect because we're missing a subject, right? Somebody went fishing. We don't know who. A schedule subject of the day's events can be obtained, verb, at the front desk, right? So we have everything we need. So this is correct. Now take a moment and pause the video so you can try to complete the rest and then come back and check your answers. Okay? Pause it now. All right. If you come back, we're going to see, right? We got a job subject on the day shift, the night shift at the plant available, right? You can see here, this is incorrect because we're missing subject. You know, we need something here. Is available, was available, subject. The new computer program provides a variety of helpful applications. This is also incorrect because we have a double verb. Okay, so it should be the new computer program has a variety of helpful applications, so provides a variety, but not both. If you put it together, then you need a present perfect. Then you have to change this for a D. All right, number 5. The box can be opened only with a special screwdriver. Right? So we got the subject, the verb, everything's fine. The assigned text for history class, it contains more than 20 chapters. You can see we have 2 subjects, so that's why it's incorrect. You know, we have a double subject, need 1. The papers, the wastebasket should be empty in the trash can. So we got subject, we got verb. Yeah, it's fine. Departure before dawn on a boat in the middle of the harbor. Well, you got departure, and that's it. There's no verb. We need something there. Right. Departure will take place before dawn. Departure is before dawn. I don't know, something. We're missing a verb right there. Yesterday found an interesting article conclusion. So we got the verb, but there is no subject. So it's no subject, unless yesterday is the name of the person, which is not. And finally, the new machine processes 50% more than the previous machines. So we got the subject, we got the verb, right? And that's where the problem lies. It's incorrect because we have a double verb, okay? So take a look at what we did here and you'll be fine. Okay, so if you like this, click and subscribe, share it with somebody else who can benefit from these type of tutorials, and come back for another lesson, another tutorial on how to take the TOEFL exam. Okay, my name is Humberto Zavala, and this is my YouTube channel. Hope to see you back anytime soon.